Welcome to the show, Dr. Amy Shah. I'm so honored. You are I am such a fangirl of you. Everything you put out on social, I consume. You're one of those influencers, and not really influencers, but experts, truly an expert in this, that has built an amazing platform on helping us age well and helping us stay healthy as we age. And the reason I wanted you to come on here is because I feel like when you give us advice on social or on videos or on national television or in your books, it's so easy. It's like something you can do right now in your kitchen, or take a walk outside, or you can do it in the workplace. And you have a very different approach to how we can be healthy that I personally love, because I don't ever feel guilty or bad after coming
Yes.
on your and consuming your information. So can you just tell us, if you had to share a few things, like a few hacks, for better nutrition? I think as I age, and this is all about aging, this whole season I'm doing is for women, really elevating women at age 50 and over. What would those be? Can you just say, okay, Sash, this is what I would say. I would say these two or three things that everyone can do right now.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be on your show. And I feel like I've seen you grow. You've seen me grow. We've been growing over the years, both personally and professionally. And one of the things I've really struggled with is, as we age, our bodies change and our nutrition needs change. And the way, the symptoms we have change and our gut health changes. And so this is so perfect timing. Because that's kind of what I've been thinking a lot about. So the number one thing I think women need to understand is that their gut changes as perimenopause moves. So any woman probably in their 40s, starting as early as late 30s and all the way into their 50s, is in that perimenopausal transition. And what happens is that your hormones change, but that changes your gut. So things that you used to be able to eat, you get bloated with, things that you could bounce back from a weekend of bad eating and lose the bloat and the weight. You cannot do that anymore. And so the tips that I'm going to give you really rotate around taking care of that gut, because that's something that most of us are not doing. So 95% of Americans, and even some healthy ladies that are listening to this, are not eating enough fiber. And so we know the protein story.
Yes.
But now I want to add to that the fiber story. And it's not about adding so much stress. It's about really being mindful of what we're eating. So fiber, for example, I'll give you an example, like blueberries have a ton of fiber, chia seeds have a ton of fiber, avocado has a ton of fiber. Like things you don't think of as like fiber rich foods actually have a lot of fiber. So if you're intentional about including those in your day, you're going to get a lot of fiber. So I want my tips are 30 grams of protein in your first meal of the day. And the reason why I say first meal is that we're all busy. We can't be obsessed with protein all day. And some of us are, and that's okay. You can take it, especially if you're bodybuilding or really intentionally building muscle. But definitely in that first meal, whenever that first meal is, 30 grams of protein, then it's 30 grams of fiber throughout the day for the same reasons, you want to build that healthy gut bacteria. And then the third step, if you want to add on to that, it's 3 probiotic foods. So it's 30-30-3.
Oh, I love that. And it's so easy. So
Yeah.
30 grams of protein, 30 grams of fiber, and
3 probiotic
probiotics.
foods.
I love this. Okay. So one of the things you said that is so critical, and nobody is really saying this but you, and you've been saying this for years, is really take care of your gut. Like everyone's telling us, take care of your skin, take care of your muscles, take care of your joints, take care of your thinning hair, take care of your brain, take care of your heart. But nobody tells us to take care of your gut. And that's one thing that I've learned from you is really when my gut is inflamed or my gut isn't good because my sleep is off, my circadian rhythm is off. Maybe I went out and drank 2 or 3 glasses of wine and I'm just a mess. It's really about restoring your gut. So can you tell us just briefly, and I know that we're not going to go into, you don't have time to go into all this, but why is our gut health so important to everything else as we age?
Well, the gut is like the Sasha of the body. So it's like the girl boss. It's like the one who handles everything. So like imagine like what you're doing for your household. You are like listening to what's coming in. You're listening to your kids. You're listening to, and you're making decisions all day long, right? That is the microbiome. There's trillions, not even billions, trillions of organisms in there that act kind of like as your army. And the gut is literally with the brain making decisions all day on your hormones, on your immune system. And actually, most people that are really, really well versed in the space would say that the gut actually has more power than the brain, even. So if they're like the cravings or the messages that come from your gut can be even stronger than the ones that we create from our brain. So which is shocking to me because you always think of the brain as controlling our entire body. And so when you want to be in your best mood, in your best productivity, in your best shape, all of that, you have to kind of get that gut brain connection in check. Like you have to take care of the girl boss who is taking care of your entire body. And in America, in modern medicine, we literally don't acknowledge this. And so everything we do kind of ignores it or actually damages the gut brain connection. And so it's like we're not eating enough food to feed the gut. We're not moving enough. We're not getting enough input from the sun. We're not getting enough sleep. And so like all of the things that the gut needs to thrive is actually being ignored or damaged with our modern lifestyles.
I love this because it's so radical. It's something that none of us learned in medical school years ago.
Totally.
I think maybe they're teaching it now. I don't know. I don't have any desire to go back to medical school, but we didn't learn this. And now
No.
that I've learned this from you, I'm so much more intentional. Like today, I'm traveling, I'm going to get on a plane. And what is going to make me feel either great tomorrow at my meeting or terrible tomorrow is 100% my gut. And I know this.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been eating fiber this morning and I'm drinking a ton of water and I'm like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to walk during my layover because that's going to stimulate my gut. Like those are the things that before I would just be like, oh, I feel terrible traveling. I don't know why. I feel bloated. I feel icky. Just feel yucky about myself. But now that I have this knowledge from you, I'm definitely changing it. And I think it's so important that we as women understand as we age, our gut ages with us and we have to be really aware of it. Okay, the next thing I know that I wanted to ask you about is movement. I remember you telling me and helping me with some nutrition and some just health a couple years ago when I was really in a stressful time of my life. And one of the things you had me do is get up every morning and get outside and walk, even if it's in the moonlight, because I get up super early, but get outside and just start my circadian rhythm at a certain amount of time. And I do that every day and it's really helped me. So, but can you talk to the busy woman? Maybe she's got a job where she's sedentary. Maybe she's not walking all that much. Maybe she's going to work in the dark and coming home in the dark. How can we incorporate more movement into our sedentary lifestyle?
I love that. First of all, that is the most amazing thing that you're doing, getting a sunny walk. So if you can't walk that much and say like me, you get up and you have something that day, you have something right like after you get up. So what I do is I walk outside while I'm brushing my teeth and literally go outside. I see sun. I do a few stretches, like maybe it's just like 2 to 5 minutes of just a little bit of movement. Maybe I'm just like walking back and forth in the light while I brush my teeth, and that's it. And that is enough to give your eyes that input from the sun and reset your circadian rhythms. And so that is something I love. Okay. And then the other hack I love when you're super busy for the women who are traveling, you need to do this today, Sasha. 10 body weight squats every 45 minutes to an hour, okay, is better than a 30-minute walk at the end of the day. So for blood sugar management. So if you can, I don't know, in your seat in the bathroom, if you're not shy, you could do it in the airport, but getting 10 body weight squats. So this is easy to do like on days where you have a lot of meetings and, just in between meetings, you can get up and do 10 squats. Doesn't take a lot of time at all. And if you can do that, in between each of your meetings, that actually is better for your blood sugar and metabolism than a single walk at the end of the day. Isn't that crazy?
That is incredible. I love that. And I mean, you can do it anywhere. You can do
Anywhere.
it anywhere. You can do it wearing anything. I love it. I'm going to do this today when I'm on my
Yeah.
layover. I'm going to just do some air squats. I love this. This is so good. Okay. How does you're the one that literally has taught me this through all of the offerings that you have online, and also teaching us this at conferences I've heard you speak at. You're an amazing speaker, by the way. If you need a
Thank you.
speaker, reach out to
You're
Dr.
the
Amy Shah.
best.
She's awesome. You really taught me about how important it is for circadian rhythm. And I live in the Midwest, so I'm around a lot of agricultural farming mentality. And it's kind of built in, I think, to a lot of our kind of where I live in my community is a circadian rhythm. But I see specifically my teenagers, it's like
Yes.
the phone is really messing them up. And especially my 15-year-old recently, when he started high school, he was just struggling to get up in the morning. He was chronically tired. He was late for things. He was missing things, which was like a change in his behavior. And I said, "What is going on here? Give me your phone." And so I started looking, and I'm seeing that he was getting on his phone at like midnight after falling
Mm-hmm.
asleep, getting back on
Mm-hmm.
his phone at 1 a.m., midnight, making him so tired that he was like, "Mom, I wake up and now I can't go back to sleep. I'm like wide awake at midnight, wake at 1 in the morning." So having to take away his phone and all this stuff, but it really can mess up your health and your mental health. What is happening with our phone? How does it affect that circadian rhythm that we may or may not have already? And what do we need to do to reestablish that?
I mean, I think you and I both know, and most people that are listening know that looking at your phone before bed is one of the worst things that we can do. However, we all do it. Like all of us are guilty of looking at our phone right before bed. So it's like one of those things that's like, yes, we know it's so bad, but what are the things that we can do to like mitigate it a little bit, right? So, for example, I recommend for teens, one thing, because I have teens too, and I struggle with this too, is at least a couple of times a year, or even just once or twice a year, when you are on a trip, go somewhere where you are off the grid. So like maybe it's intentional. You just tell them like, we don't have Wi-Fi here, whatever it is, turn it off or whatever, but intentionally kind of do a reset. It's great for us. It's great for them. And it kind of kind of gives them a reset period, right? Because you know, and I know that when we're trying to police the phone at home, it's really difficult. And it's like the cat's out of the bag. Like I wish I had waited longer to give my teens a phone, because now I realize like once the cat's out of the bag, it's very hard to kind of like
Oh,
take it away from
yes,
them. It's a big
yes,
punishment, you know?
yes.
And then the other thing is just modeling good hygiene. Like it's just like nutrition. Like I keep talking to them ad nauseum about how important it is to get a good night's sleep, how important it is to get sunlight at least for 30 minutes a day, how important it is to be our own disciplinary agent with the phone. So I'll say, you know what, I really struggled today. So I put my phone down for like an hour just so I could get some work done. And I keep modeling that for them so that they can maybe learn some tricks. And then the kids, they will say the same thing. They'll say, I know it's like so hard to like not look at it if it's, so it's kind of like nutrition. Like I am so obsessed with nutrition, but I don't want to be that mom who's like, grabbing the cookies out of their hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that can just backfire so easily. And so
Yes.
the same thing with phone, but really going on these, and I know you do,
Mhm.
or if you don't, you should go on these family trips where you kind of intentionally go somewhere where you have to kind of reset from the world of phone and Wi-Fi and being on our computer all the time.
I'm trying really hard to leave my phone in the other room. So when I come in my house, put it in a different room than where I am. So I have place back in my bedroom where I just plug it in. It's far away from the kitchen. It's far away from the family. And I'm trying to do this, and I can notice such a difference when I have a night when I come home from work and I just put my phone away and I don't look at it until right before bed. I'm so much more present. I'm able to see like, oh, my teen is in the kitchen, but they are on their phone instead of me seeing them on their phone, me being on my phone. Right. So
Yes.
I read this somewhere. It's like, put your phone in the other room. And I was like, that's so genius. Like, why am I not doing this? So I'm trying to really make this a habit. And about 2 Saturdays ago, I spent an entire Saturday without my phone in my house.
Oh,
It
I
was
love that.
it was like bliss. And, when I went to bed that night, I had like 200 texts. And I thought, how different would my day have been today if I would have been reading all those and responding to all of those? None of them were emergent. None of them were anything that I had to answer immediately. Everyone that I was responsible for was around me that day. And I would have been distracted. I wouldn't have had the conversations. I wouldn't have gotten the projects even done that I, were able to finish because I had my phone in the other room. So it's just a simple habit that I don't do it every day, but I'm probably doing it at least 50% of my days at night. And I can just notice a difference even in my sleep and my overall health and my anxiety. Like,
I
I don't
I
even feel like
know
I'm an
that's true.
anxious person, but do you ever realize like how your phone makes you anxious? Does that happen to
It
you?
totally makes you anxious. One time, this reminds me, one time I went to Costa Rica, I think it was last year, and there was no plug next to the bed. And I plugged my phone in like at the farthest place it was like the bathroom, but the very farthest place. And I had the best sleep and mental health that week like I've ever had.
It's so true. It's so true. Okay. So you are the author of two amazing books. And I love your books because, again, so relatable, such easy reads, and you leave with real life things you can incorporate into your day. Tell us, like, what are you like really preaching right now? Like, what is hitting it for you? Because you've taught us about nutrition, you've taught us how and why we get hungry and all about those stress cues. You've taught us about sleep. What are you kind of moving into? Like, what's coming up for you now that you're like, I could talk about this all day, every day?
Okay, well, you're going to love this. I just announced my next book. It's called Hormone Havoc, and it is the nutritional and lifestyle plan for women in perimenopause and menopause.
Oh my
And
gosh, I cannot wait. Tell
this
us
set,
all the things.
this central concept that I shared with you about the 30-33 is really something I talk a lot about in the book. Like, Sasha, I wanted to get a menopause certification this year. And so I started to read more of the textbooks just to learn, about it. Not that I want to practice it or anything, but I noticed that there's no chapter about nutrition in the North American Menopause Society book. There's no section on nutrition on most of the area. I mean, it's such an afterthought because there's a lot of talk about hormones, there's a lot of talk about supplements. And so I thought, this is something I think I could contribute to because I know that those three things that I told you, the 30 grams of protein in the morning, the 30 grams of fiber throughout the day, and 3 probiotic foods, that is based on a ton of literature and is something that most women could incorporate into their life, at least part of it, if not all 3 steps, the first step, the second step, and the third step. So I am really excited to introduce this to the world in early 2026.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Everybody needs to go out and follow Amy right now so that you can sign up for her early release because this is going to be a fun thing to read in January and a great
Yeah,
reset for so many women, and including myself because let me tell you, I feel like menopause is having a moment. It's everywhere. You can't go anywhere without reading about it.
totally.
It's overwhelming, let's be honest. I don't
Yes.
know if I should be taking this or that, or if it's this symptom is from this, or if it's just, there's so much
There's so
information out
much.
there. And I'm a physician. Like, I don't even know how to consume this. So I love that you're going to have this in one book for us that we're going to be able to go to and read. And it's really going to be from it sounds like a nutrition kind of, and
Yes.
how hormone affects this and how we should be caring for our gut. This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
like it's a gut health forward thinking, just based on the same concept that I'm talking to you about being kind of the master organizer of our life, the gut brain connection, how we can kind of harness that. Because I actually think, Sasha, I think that women who actually learn how to harness this, and I'm sure you feel this too, you can find gifts, like you can find gifts that you never had found before. You can do
Mm,
things that you never did before because you are now opening up new areas of your brain and your nervous system. And like, I know that for me, when I started to like sleep better and get more sunlight, get more walks and start to eat all this protein and fiber, I'm like, wait a second, now I feel like awake. Like now
yeah,
I'm noticing like that there's things around me that I don't like. And then there's things that I need to pursue. There's things that I still need to do in my life. And so that's what the whole point is.
I love this. I never feel as good as I do when I am on vacation at our house in Hilton Head, um, on the beach, because I don't, like you, I put my phone farthest away. I'm in nature. I go on multiple walks a day. I ride my bike. I'm in the sun. I'm in fresh air. I'm outside. That is when I get so many business ideas and growth
Yes.
ideas and creativity for myself, because I'm not on my computer. I'm not on my phone. I'm not in my inbox. I'm not working. I'm not stressed. I'm eating great things. I'm eating fish because I'm on the ocean. And I'm like, wow, every time I go on a vacation there, I feel so good about myself. I feel so healthy. It ends up in some of my most creative ideas coming out, and my next books, or my next podcast ideas, or who I want to collaborate with, or a course I want to teach, or what I want to speak on. So I always tell people, like, when you are feeling ill or just burned out or icky in your body, or when you're feeling just stress and like not healthy, take a few days off. It's not that the 3 days off are going to fix all your life problems, but you're going to get clarity. It's like the fog is going to be lifted, right? And you're going to have clarity on like what you need to do with your life, what you need to stop doing in your life, what is no longer serving you. And yet, when we are busy and we do feel icky, oftentimes we think, oh, we can't take any time off. We have to just keep plowing through. So I know you are a big proponent also of like scheduled vacations and time away, that giving yourself that space to just remember who you are and get back to your healthiest self.
I mean, I spent years in that place of just plowing through and not thinking I could take a vacation, thinking like if I was sleeping too much, that was a wasting time. And if I went for a hike, that was like, that's a luxury, like we shouldn't do all these things. And so I know what you're saying is like, I was that person for so many years. And that's why I can say, like, from the other side, I'm like, wait a second, like, this is not an optional thing. It's not a vacation. It's like literally you're not doing things that you're meant to do. You're not finding things the people that you're supposed to be spending time with, the things you're supposed to be doing. Because if you're in that like haze, nothing is clear and you just keep
Right.
on doing what you know what to do. It's like you're on autopilot.
Yes. Well, this was so good. I cannot wait for your book to come out. Okay, it's called Hormone Havoc. Is that right?
Yes,
And
yes,
how can is there a list we can get on? Is there some way that
yes,
early
yes.
listeners can go and get an early first release?
It's if you go to amymdwellness.com, you will see there's a banner there, just right there. You can sign up. You can get a pre-order link there. There's some like bonuses that people can get right away. We've just started to compile all the fun things. And Sasha, I'm going to be joining your lifestyle soon. I pause on the travel just a little bit because I know when it comes time for this fall and early winter, I'm going to be traveling so much. So I'm going to be doing all the things we just talked about for myself because that's, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun project. I can't wait.
Oh, that's amazing. And hopefully, if you're listening, you might get to see her. She might be in your state or
Yeah.
in your city. Or if you ever get the chance to listen to her live, be there, go. It's worth it. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We will have a link in the show notes to all of the things that you just mentioned. And I just so appreciate you and your authenticity and your friendship.
Honestly, I have to give you props, by the way. Your conference was so eye opening the first time I went there. And you also gave me a platform to speak. That was one of the first big speaking events I had ever done. And it really opened my eyes to the fact that I love speaking, that I need to work on it, that's something I want to develop in my life. So, special thank you to you.
Oh, thanks. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And as we learned today, we can really take charge of our gut. There's easy things we can do. Dr. Shah explained to us her 30-33 rule, which is brilliant, and how important it is that our microbiome is like our girl boss of our life. She's in charge of everything. So we have to treat her well, and we really have to take care of her. You can find all this information in show notes. And as always, live brave.